Hello everyone. Today's topic of discussion is ecological interactions. This is a very important topic for the prelims examination as well as mains examination. Especially in the prelims examination, several times questions have been asked from this area directly. I'll show you the questions as well that have been asked in the last 4 or 5 years. And in the mains examination, this knowledge of ecological interaction could be useful in writing the answers to the questions which are related to ecological balance. As you should know that the ecological interactions, the different kind of relationships that organisms have in the environment is helpful in maintaining the ecological balance. So any question related to ecological balance, these ideas, the relevant ideas, could be quoted in the mains examination as well. So that is why I said कि in the mains examination also, it has equal importance, provided that you know how to use these informations. So let us see the questions first that have been asked in the past years, especially in the last 3, 4, 5 years. So the first question, I'll discuss the questions in detail. Before that, I'll discuss the topic. So there was a question in 2024. 2024, there was another question. Another question. So three questions could be solved by the knowledge of this topic only. I'm not saying that they are related only to this topic, क्योंकि environment में चीजें बहुत interlinked हैं. बट अगर एक तो टॉपिक भी आपने प्रॉपरली किया है तो बहुत डिटेल में किया है तो यू कुड बी इन पोजीशन टू सॉल्व 3 क्वेश्चंस इन प्रीवियस ईयर्स ओनली. एनीवे 2021 में भी एक डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन है तो लेट्स सी द क्वेश्चंस. बट बिफोर लुकिंग इनटू द क्वेश्चंस, let us discuss about different types of interactions that happen in the environment. So starting with the first interaction, let's call it predation. So basically, ecological interaction है in which the organisms interact with one another. They develop some kind of relationship when they are part of the ecosystem. So उसी में एक type of relationship is called predation. So predation में क्या होगा कि the interacting species, one species is positively benefited and other species is negatively affected. So basically it is a positive negative relationship. It is a positive negative relationship. पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव रिलेशनशिप का मतलब एक को बेनिफिट होगा और एक को लॉस होगा. सो प्रिडेशन में द स्पीशीज विच इज positively benefited is called predator and the one which is negatively affected is called prey. तो इसके बेस्ट एग्जांपल्स अगर हम लोग देखें तो फर्स्ट बेस्ट एग्जांपल वुड बी कार्निवोर eating herbivores. Lion zebra को खा गया. Then tigers attacking or eating away, killing antelopes, deers, all those things. So carnivores eating herbivores, one example. In fact, herbivores eating grasses, shrubs is one example of predation. In fact, there is another term used for this, but it is a type of predation only. Sometimes you might find this word also, herbivory. It is a type of predation. Another example, if you know certain uh, insects such as centipedes, millipedes, जो multi-legged arthropods, they eat insects, they eat termites. So they are the example of predation relationship or call it predatory relationship. Okay, let's see the next type of interaction in the environment. Similar to this only, parasitism, parasitic relationship. So again, similar to predation, one is positively benefited and other is negatively affected. So it is again a positive negative relationship. It is again a positive negative relationship. So now the question comes up कि parasitism और predation में difference क्या है? क्योंकि both are appearing to be similar relationship. So in case of parasitism, the parasite does not intend, this is very important, does not intend to kill host. इसको host बोलते हैं और इसको parasite बोलते हैं. जो पॉजिटिवली बेनिफिटेड है उसको पैरासाइट बोलते हैं और जो नेगेटिवली अफेक्टेड है उसको होस्ट बोलते हैं. सो इन केस ऑफ parasitism, the parasite does not want to kill the host. But in case of predation, if you know, the predator is killing the host or the prey. So this is the major difference. Okay. Examples देखते हैं. There are certain exoparasites. Exoparasites मतलब कि जो आपको आउटर इन्वायरमेंट में दिखेंगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल दी लीच, लीच ब्लड को सक करता है. देन अनदर एग्जाम्पल कुड बी टिक्स, बीटल्स. यस. देन अनदर एग्जाम्पल कुड बी bees, wasp. These all are examples of parasites. Flies, bees and wasp, they are the pollinators. But at times they are not involved in pollination. They are only extracting the nectar for the food. तो bees हुए, wasp हुए. तो जब वो pollination नहीं कर रहे हैं तब वो पैरासाइट की तरीके काम कर रहे हैं. I'll give you the example. जब वो pollination करेंगे, जब वो pollination करेंगे, then both are benefited. That is a different type of relationship. So for now, bees and wasp, certain cases में they act as parasite, exoparasite, flies. So these are the different examples of parasitism. Another, there could be endoparasites as well, जो बॉडी के अंदर मिलेंगे. एंडोपैरासाइट का एग्जांपल जैसे प्लाज्मोडियम पैरासाइट, प्लाज्मोडियम. We know plasmodium is a protozoa जिससे मलेरिया होता है, which causes malaria disease. So basically जो फीमेल मॉस्किटो है called एनोफिलीज, this female mosquito this bites the person and through the blood this plasmodium protozoa is transferred to the liver and then it causes malaria to us. So again it is negatively affecting. So this is again a parasite. Yes. Coming to another type of interaction, amensalism. Amensalism. In case of amensalism, among the interacting species, one species is negatively affected and one is unaffected. So it is a kind of negative and zero relationship. It is a kind of negative and zero relation. देखते हैं एग्जाम्पल देखते हैं जैसे प्रैक्टिकल एग्जाम्पल कुड बी व्हेन यू फॉल इन लव विद समबडी जिसको फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता तो तुम दुखी हो सामने वाला पर्सन is unaffected. Amensalism. You cannot write this obviously. So another example, the best example of this is there are certain trees which release toxins, toxic chemicals. जैसे एक example of such tree would be black walnut plant. So this release toxins which obviously harms or kills the surrounding plants, grasses. They would be negatively affected, or walnut would be zero affected. There would be no effect on the plant. So this is a type of relationship, amensalism. Yes. So if you look at all these kind of interactions, they are maintaining the ecological balance. किसी का growth inhibit हो रहा है, तो basically ecological जो balance है, that is getting maintained. Anyway, so all these things are important. You need to understand this. Okay, this type of relationship is also called negative allelopathy. So what is negative allelopathy? It is a type of amensalistic relationship in which the one species is unaffected and the other species are affected, negatively affected. Anyway, come to another type of interaction, commensalism. So contrary to the amensalism, commensalism is one is positively benefited, एक को फायदा होगा and other is unaffected. Unaffected, एक को बेनिफिट होगा और दूसरा will remain unaffected. जैसे इसका बेस्ट प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल कुड बी ब्लड डोनेशन. आप ब्लड डोनेट करिए, यूजुअली योर बॉडी इज नॉट मच अफेक्टेड बट समबडी इज बेनिफिटेड. सो इसका प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल, सो ब्लड डोनेशन, इसलिए ब्लड डोनेशन करना चाहिए. एनीवे, देन अनदर एग्जांपल, प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल से ज्यादा अगर हम लोग देखें स्कैवेंजर्स को, स्कैवेंजर्स, detrivores, they eat dead animals. Scavengers, detrivores eat dead animals and plants. So वो तो already dead है, तो that is unaffected. But these scavengers, these detrivores are positively benefited. Example of scavenger would be, you must have heard of vultures, you must have heard of hyena. Hyenas are hunters as well as scavengers. मतलब वो कभी कभी hunting में भी involve होते हैं and at times जो left over है lion के kill का उसको भी खाते हैं. तो they are examples of scavengers. Yes. Another type of interaction, let's see. Very important type of interaction is mutualism, also called symbiotic relationship or symbiosis. This is a fifth type of interaction, I guess. Yes? Yeah, fifth type of interaction. तो म्यूचुअलिज्म नाम से ही क्लियर है, both species means the interacting species are benefited. जैसे इसका practical example if you take, so one is barter system. आपकी कुछ ज़रूरतें हैं, मेरी कुछ ज़रूरतें हैं, म्यूचुअल कोइंसिडेंस ऑफ नीड्स हैं, दोनों को फायदा हो रहा है, तो दैट इज अ म्यूचुअलिस्टिक रिलेशनशिप, symbiotic relationship. So barter system, practical example. Ecosystem में there are many examples. अगर हम लोग इकोलॉजी में देखें, इकोसिस्टम में देखें, तो there are many such examples. जैसे you must have heard of something called lichens. So lichen is a combination of fungus and algae. So basically fungus is a decomposer. This decomposer decomposes the material and ultimately nutrients are extracted, and this nutrients would be utilized by the algae to produce food. Algae is said to be neither a plant nor an animal, but it can prepare food through the process of photosynthesis. So algae food बनाएगा with the help of these nutrients. इसीलिए lichens are said to be pioneer species. अगर आपने ecological succession पढ़ा हो, तो you know what pioneer species are. Pioneer species are the species which are responsible for the beginning of the ecological succession. कभी discuss करेंगे ecological succession को, then again this concept will come. Anyway, lichens, ऐसे ही आपने coral ecosystem, if you look at coral ecosystem, you'll find coral polyp and algae. Algae is zooxanthellae algae. They are in symbiotic relationship. They are in mutual relationship. This algae prepares food, and this polyp provides shelter to the algae. So this is how mutually both are benefited. There are many such examples. There's another example if I give you. As I said, bees are pollinators. Bees and wasps, they are pollinators. So these bees, while extracting the nectar, at times they also transfer the pollens, and once they're transferring the pollens, तो plant को benefit हुआ, उसको pollen मिल गया, और bees को benefit हुआ, उनको nectar मिल गया. तो bees and wasps, while interacting with the plants, when they act as the pollinator, so they are also representing mutual relationship, symbiotic relationship. और भी बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल, जैसे if you know certain leguminous plants are in symbiotic relationship with nitrogen fixing bacteria. So these leguminous plants, जैसे leguminous plants के example peas हैं, beans हैं, cloves are there. These are the examples of leguminous plants. जैसे peas, if you know, groundnut, peanut जिसको बोलते हो, then soybean. All these are examples of these leguminous plants. So these plants have nodes or nodules in their roots, and over there this nitrogen fixing bacteria releases nitrate, which can be used by the plants. There's a nitrogen fixing bacteria के examples if I write rhizobium, then another example is bradyrhizobium. If I give you details, rhizobium जो है आपको मिलेगा लेग्यूमिनस प्लांट्स के नोट्स पे, एंड दिस वन वुड बी फाउंड, जैसे सोयाबीन है यहाँ पर. ओके, सो एनीवे, सो दिस इज हाउ द रिलेशनशिप इज देयर. और भी बहुत सारे, देर आर सर्टेन बैक्टीरिया ऑल्सो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल देर आर सर्टेन गुड बैक्टीरिया, जैसे बैक्टीरिया फाउंड इन आवर इंटेस्टाइन, in our guts. They are responsible for breaking down fibers, carbohydrates. Those things are broken down. Obviously, intestine gut is providing shelter to these bacteria, and they're breaking down the carbohydrates and fibers, which is digestible by the body. Yes, so both are benefited. So these are the different examples. In fact, these bacteria are found in certain animals, जैसे जो ruminating animals हैं, जो चुगाली करते हुए animals हैं. All these are the examples of mutualistic relationship. There are many examples of mutualistic relationship. Come to next, competition. Another type of ecological interaction, competition. Just opposite to mutualism, both species are negatively affected. So basically it is a type of relationship in which the interacting species, due to limited resources, both are harmed. All these species are negatively affected. जैसे इसका best example would be the plants and the trees in evergreen forest. आपको पता है कि evergreen forest में density of plants and trees is very high. So these plants, these trees are fighting for the sunlight, are fighting for the nutrients in the soil. So a large number of plants, a large number of trees are fighting for sunlight. So everybody will not be benefited. So that is why it is a competition. So majority is negatively affected. So it is a competition. It is the best example. Yes, just say another example could be in real life. If you see एक पोजीशन के लिए, एक गवर्नमेंट पोस्ट के लिए thousands and lakhs of people are fighting. तो सिंगल पोस्ट के लिए number of people are fighting. Competition, तो it is not healthy. So ICS से रिलेटेड एक लॉ है called Gauss law. It says that टाइम के साथ में प्रोडक्शन डिक्रीजेस. सो पहले तो प्रोडक्शन इंक्रीजेस, बट आफ्टर सर्टेन टाइम इट स्टार्ट डिक्रीजिंग. So, जैसे जैसे कंपटीशन बढ़ेगा विद टाइम, कंपटीशन विल इंक्रीज. टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ द एवरग्रीन फॉरेस्ट. जैसे जैसे लार्ज नंबर ऑफ प्लांट्स एंड ट्रीज विल ग्रो, तो कंपटीशन इज इंक्रीजिंग. तो पहले तो biodiversity for certain time it is increasing, so production is increasing, but after some time they start fighting for the food, fighting for the sunlight, the nutrients in the soil, so production start declining. This is called Gauss law. जैसे इसका दूसरा एग्जाम्पल अगर आप ले लो, कोई लिमिटेड रिसोर्स है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल लेट्स से देयर इज सम गुड इन द मार्केट व्हिच इज वेरी हाई इन डिमांड. तो क्या होगा कि उसके डिमांड बढ़ जाने से फिर a large number of people are fighting for it, तो इन्फ्लेशन हो जाएगा, उसकी प्राइस बढ़ जाएगी, तो that is not good anyway. So, but in the ecology, these things are important for maintaining the ecological balance. So it is not that I cannot say कि these things are not important. They maintain the balance. Okay. Now let's see the questions. Starting with the first question. Which one of the following shows a unique relationship with an insect has co-evolved with it, and that is only insect that can pollinate this tree? तो एक म्यूचुअलिस्टिक रिलेशनशिप की बात हो रही है, पॉलिनेशन की बात हो रही है, बट ओवर इट इज सेइंग दैट देयर इज ओनली वन इंसेक्ट दैट विल पॉलिनेट. सो उसका बेस्ट एग्जांपल जो मैंने भी आपको एग्जांपल दिया, दिस म्यूचुअलिज्म I told you about bees and wasp. So wasp has a very unique relationship with fig tree. Fig trees are pollinated only by the wasp insect. No other insect pollinate fig tree. So इसी पे question ये based था. So if you look at this, A is the right answer to this question. Mahua is also in the mutualistic relationship, but it is pollinated by many insects. Similarly, sandalwood, similarly, silk cotton. So only one insect is pollinating, that is insect is wasp, and it is pollinating the fig tree. Okay, so A for Ahmedabad. Let's look at the second question. There are certain things to be considered. Parasitoid species are found in how many of the above kind of organisms? तो parasitic characteristics कौन कौन show करेंगी? तो beetles I told you exoparasite. Centipedes are example of predation. मैंने बताया था centipedes and millipedes, they eat insect. Their intent is to kill the insect. तो इसलिए predation का example है. So this cannot be there. This could be yes. Flies, I told you, parasites, exoparasites. Termites, so termites eat the dead material, non-living tissues. So this is not parasitic characteristic. So this is incorrect. Wasp, I told you, the wasp in certain cases are the parasites, exoparasites. So 1, 2 and 3. So only 3. B for Bombay. Consider the following plants. How many of the above belong to pea family? A direct question, an easy question if you know. Groundnut, I already told you, it is a pea family. Groundnut or peanut. Horse gram, yes, gram is a pea family. And then soybean, yes. So all three are the examples of pea family. So C for Chennai. Which of the following have species that can establish a symbiotic relationship with other organisms? कौन कौन से हैं which might establish the symbiotic relationship? Cnidarians, if you know corals. Corals are example of cnidarians. Other cnidarians, if you know hydra, sea anemone, if you have heard of jellyfish, they all are examples of cnidarians. But you know corals. Corals have symbiotic relationship with the algae. So this is correct. Fungi. I told you about lichens, fungi and algae. So again correct. Protozoa. I told you certain protozoa are found in the guts of the termites. So Protozoa is benefited. The termite is benefited. Why? Because these protozoans break down the cellulose. They are responsible for decomposition of cellulose eaten by the termites. So both are benefited. So again, symbiotic relationship. So D for Delhi. Okay. So this is all for the day. Thank you so very much. Have a great time.